I want to get your opinion on something that I've been thinking about, and because it goes hand in hand with the conversation we were having about emotional intelligence, and that is the concept of how a man cries. Man. So check it out. I got a thesis, right? Okay. So because obviously it's kind of like a cliche, like, oh, a man doesn't cry, and then like the response kind of now is like, oh, a man can cry and men do cry and these things. But I want to propose that not only so a man can cry, and there is a specific way, there's a methodology to it.
Okay, this sounds interesting.
Okay, so first of all, here's the big don't. A man is not to cry purely in hysterics around the people that need him. And by that I mean, you know, if you're going to be a man as you're crying, is there a place where you can cry? Yes. Where can you cry? You can cry to God. You can come to God as broken, as miserable, as doubtful of your life, as doubtful of your purpose as possible, questioning everything that you want him. That is where you go and you are just completely befuddled. Another place you might be able to go, if you have emotionally intelligent and good parents, you could go to them. Basically, you go to people that look at you as a son, that look at you as their child. Because these people, their main thing is going to be to listen to you and to encourage you and to speak words that are meant to build you up. And at the end of it, that's what that person that is crying is looking for. They're looking to express their pain, express their hurt. And so in response to that pain and hurt, they want to feel some type of affirmation of their worth. Mm-hmm. And so that's why you go to God, you go to your parents, you go to someone that you see as some type of person that cares about you. And they must be a person that is authority-wise over you, that they know and you are submitted to their authority. This is not going to appear. Now, then, once the person has handled their hysterical cries, now they can take their cries to their community of men, if it's a man, and their community of women, if it's a woman. If you're a man, you go to your community of guys and you let them know, man, you know, I was freaking out about this thing and I'm still worried about it. And now you can come to your guys, and these guys are going to speak to you your horizontal encouragement. These guys are going to give you that masculine essence of encouragement that isn't just meant to be someone of authority, but a peer that speaks life into you, breathes life and encouragement to you, prays over you, and gives you that masculine. Because when you're in the act of crying, you're in the feminine, right? You're in the emotional. So now, once you've done that, this is the part that is the most controversial. I don't think anybody doubts pray to somebody that's in authority over you, or cry to somebody in authority over you, and then cry to your guys. I don't think anybody questions that. This is the part that's more controversial. The next part of that is you cry to the people that depend on you. For example, for me, that would be, if I'm going through something, I would cry to my wife. I would cry to my students. Why? Is this the same type of cry as the cry I do to God or to my boys? No. This cry that you do in front of your wife, this cry that you do in front of your students, this is a cry with the purpose of teaching. You teach what to do with these emotions of sadness, anger, fear, anxiety, depression. The purpose of this cry is to teach them that, you know what? I am afraid of this thing. You know what? I'm doubtful of where I'm at right now with life. I don't know what my next step is that I'm doing. But I have 100% certainty that my God is going to take care of me. I have 100% certainty that I'm going to figure out what to do with this. You cry to them to teach them that even in the fear and the pain, the first thing that they do is they go to God as well. And then they get reinforced by their guys. And then they process it and use it for a purpose for good. Because otherwise, if you're just crying hysterically to everybody, you are no longer resonating with that most masculine side of you. And as we were talking about emotional intelligence, this serves the ability to nurture the next generation of allowing them, because this is a feminine thing now to cry in front of these people. And so this is exactly as we were talking about, that masculine and feminine being in tandem with each other correctly. And the key is we can do the feminine thing, but we have to do it with a overall masculine frame in it. This is my working theory.
Okay, so now, so I'm gonna be. My sister and dad taught me at a young age that men cry, right? Mm-hmm. So, but the way that he would cry to me. Mm-hmm. He would call me and cry to me. Mm-hmm. You know, man, the boy, he would sit right there and boo-hoo cry. Mm-hmm. Let the tears out. So, I just was crying the other day. Now, how I could agree to disagree with at certain points. Now, I truthfully believe that there's no authority over me but the Most High Creator, and that Most High Creator has a portion that dwells within inside me. So, when it comes to being in a state of breaking down, crying, I think the first stage that a man should ever do that is with himself.
100% agree.
I feel like a man should actually sit with himself and actually let it flow. Mm-hmm. That's where you get most of it out, with yourself. Mm-hmm. Go within yourself, think about it. And this happened when I was actually...
Also, real quick, just before you continue, I do want to clarify that the things that I said as far as the God and then the boys and then the people that look up to you and look to you for leadership, that is the order of it. It's not like this is the different instances. It's first this, then this. So yeah, I just want to make that clarification. So I agree with, that's why I say I 100% agree. First, you, yourself, and God, then, and you know, whoever that authority would be to you, then you go to your boys, then you go to your people, in that order. Do not skip that order. Continue.
To go with what you're saying, I like this theory, right? Because I feel like you're saying, it's a certain way. Now, for one, as in a person that is already healed and whole and they know their partner, mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because like right now in America, the way that it's being embedded into some of, especially black women, Latino women, is being embedded in this culture head is like, men don't cry. That's mm-hmm. weak. Mm-hmm. You know, so the ones that are not conscious, that's how they feel. Yeah. You could actually have a good woman, but she's been bred to feel like a man that cries weak, and mm-hmm. she's operates masculine. So in the sign of weakness, she gonna run over you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So you have to also be aware of what you're dealing with. Yeah. If you have a conscious wife that you can go to, and you know that she's gonna understand everything about you and everything that you're going through, because crying is healing. Mm-hmm. Crying is healing. I'm gonna say that again. So when we not letting these tears flow as man, all it does is builds up inside us, and then guess how it explodes? It explodes out the wrong way. So like you said, You know, cry to yourself, cry to the Most High, you know, go in. Once you get all the hysterics out the way, because we got to remain posed as a man, as a defender. So that's the first thing they took away from us in slavery. And I know it's far back, but we got to get back to the root to even understand the thing right now. So the way that they separated us during slavery, this the divide and conquer, they degraded us so bad in front of the women, so it already made us feel like we came to defend them. We need to praise these people because our own man can't take care of us. That's the thing that's going in the heads right now. So it's like, I ain't helping raise no man. A man should know how to be a man. I ain't got time. You can't raise a man and all this shit. True enough, we ain't looking for nobody to raise no man. You know what I mean? Not looking for nobody to raise you. But once you start to understand the psychology, once you understand the psychology and you raise to a certain level, you're going to get where you need to be. So to stay on track, shedding those tears is vital. It's vital. And like you said, as in leadership, you got to be able to show that other men that, okay, it's okay to cry, but don't be hysterical out here, because you got to remain posed. You got to remain controlled, because when you're out in public, you're the one that's expected to be able to gain control of a situation. And a man trying to gain control of a situation, we ain't doing that kind of crime. You know, that type of crime we ain't doing. You know, the type of crime that I'm talking about is healing trauma crime. You know, like finding out that, whoa, this is, and you know that you just changed something. You know that you just shifted, and you're happy to the point, these tears, or to these are the tears that I'm looking at now. These are the tears that I'm facing now. These are like death. I don't see death. Death is, no, you ain't supposed to be crying with death. You know what I mean? And I firmly believe that. Like, they leaving this realm right here. They going somewhere else. They not here no more. I feel like you shouldn't be crying, but that's a good theory. But like I said, the worst thing that I say is cry to yourself. Cry the most hysterical things out to yourself, because who you are when you're alone is what really the truth is. Who are you when you're alone inside that room? Can you face yourself as a man and say, man, I'm weak right here. Man, I'm weak right here. Man, I did this wrong. Man, I was raised like, can you really sit and then understand that and get what you see of yourself? Because what you see right here is what they see. So as within, so without. So build that resilience and cry, man. Go in there, like, go in that room and cry. Cry like a baby.
Oh man, no, yeah. I'm glad you like it. Because it was something I was thinking about, man. Because just, you know, it's such a like I said, the first two things I think a lot of people agree on. It's that last one that people are like.
And also having a lot of other dudes in my business. Now, I ain't gonna, that one right there, I probably got one or two that but like certain levels. Like if we in some, like, say we championship team, and we in the playoffs and we lose. These tears, right? These passionate tears. We got to win. I'm crying tears because I'm passionate, or I'm crying like me. Like right now, if I get into something that I'm seriously passionate about and it touches my heart, I let the tears flow, because it's not hysterics.
No.
You know what I mean? It's passion. You being heartfelt. We have hearts. When you're not crying and you ain't feeling nothing, something wrong with you.
Yeah, you might be a sociopath.
Yeah, you're not even having a human experience no more. If your heart is so cold that you don't feel nothing, I've been there. When my heart started to change. I remember the first time. Remember, y'all know I did all this time in prison. When I was in prison, after like 7 years, I would watch TV and like, yo, I'd be looking at the scene like, yo, what's going on? Man, like, what's wrong with you? Literally. I called my mom. I say, Mom, I don't know if being in here, I don't know if I'm getting soft or something. I say, but man, I've been watching TV. Set it off. I watched this movie 1,000 times, bro, as a kid growing up and never cried when Queen Latifah got shot up. This time, after all these years, when I seen that movie, it hit me so hard. Mm-hmm. And my mama was like, baby, that's all right. That's how you know you still human. That's how you know, because once you stop the feel, it's over. Mm-hmm. So, we got to learn that it's okay to feel. We weren't given emotions for a reason. They come from somewhere. They not meant to be compressed. They meant to be explored. Mm-hmm. And then, as you start to explore it, this is me talking from, going through this, constantly doing it now. When I feel like this, or I have a disagreement, or somebody say something, or I feel like this, the first thing that I'm doing now is, after the fact, is okay, what am I feeling? Why do I feel like this? What brought about this feeling in the first place? So now, once you start to understand these emotions, and when you're around certain things, when you get that feeling, you know why you got it. Mm-hmm. Then you know how to deal with it. Yeah. Instead of running from it, you know how to deal with it. Okay, yeah. I'm feeling this because of this right here. Okay, nah, I'm going to go this way.
And there's, I like that, because I think sometimes some of the things that I think people get real lost in is the fact that a lot of their feelings. So we talked about crying, right? That's the sad spectrum. Let's talk about the anger spectrum, right? Mm-hmm. So when it comes to that anger spectrum piece of it, I think that reflecting from your anger is one of the most annoying things that we as men hate to do, because it's I just want to be angry and pissed off, and I have a good reason to do it, and I'm justified in it.
Because you know what? Most of the time when you reflect the anger, you realize that you was wrong.
Yeah. And here's what I realized too, right? A lot of the times, the reason why we are angry about something is because we had a good intention about the initial thing. Mm-hmm. We received something that went against the good thing we were trying to do, and then we became angry at the fact that there are now these barriers that prevent us from doing the good thing we wanted to do. Mm-hmm. And then we become angry, we lash out, we do something. But here's the crazy thing, is that then if you take where you started from, I started to get angry because I was trying to do this thing to help my mom, let's say. And then she didn't answer my phone call. And then when I talked to her, she was talking about something else that was something unrelated to anything that I know anything about. And she was getting crazy with me or something. Right. And then now I'm angry because it's I called because I wanted to tell you something to help you. And now you going off on me. You're preventing me from doing something that I wanted to do that was good. So, and then you go and do something destructive. So now when you weigh out, the base of my anger is good with a good intention. But what did I allow that to cause me to do?
Right.
Would I be achieving the same effect of being good and helping for example, my mother, if I were to stop and realize that the place that they are coming from needs some type of service, instead of just focusing on the fact that I really had something I wanted to do that was good, and you're stopping me and you're getting on my case and da-da-da. And I just stopped and realized, oh, wait, I have something what it is my agenda that I had got put off for their agenda. Mm-hmm. And now I have to service them in a way I wasn't intending to, mm-hmm. before I can get back to my agenda.
Yeah, I like that. That's truth. That's starting to think not only of yourself. When you start to think as a collective, then you start to realize why am I mad? I have to do this all the time. I get mad and get heated about something, ask myself, okay, why am I mad? Is this really a reason to be angry? what does being angry about this situation do for me? And then once I started looking at that, it's like, okay, as you said, now if we start thinking for the other person, we control it better. You know what I mean? It's like once you start to realize, like, wait a minute, okay, I understand this was my agenda, this was my purpose, and yeah, it was good, but maybe this problem that they're having is more important than what I'm trying to do. Maybe they need to release this more than I need to tell them what they're hearing. You know what I mean? So when you start to think like that, you know, that's how we start to grow together. That's how we start to live in harmony. That's how we start to live in peace, because we start to realize, okay, this is what's going on, but should I let this affect me? It's like even with the body, like it say, if you stomp on my toe, it got to register in my brain first that my toe hurt. You know what I mean? So even when it comes to getting angry, as we start to work better on better and better and better with our emotions, which is one of them, anger. Once we start to go through that and start to realize, we start to watch our thoughts. So when a situation that comes that it feels like something your anger would be rose up in, you start to look at different ways. Okay, should I let this get me mad? Why am I letting this get me mad? What does getting mad bring out of this? And then the scripture always tell you about speaking out of anger.
Oh yeah.
You acting out of anger. You act out of anger. When you speak out of anger, you destroy a relationship forever. The tongue is a powerful thing.
Yeah.
You know? And that tongue, you speak life and death with your tongue. So
absolutely.
When you speaking out of anger, most likely you're gonna speak some death. And we ain't trying to do that. So we gotta control that. So we only speak peace, love, and light.
Yeah. So as we get ready to, because these segments are shorter for the ease of my video editor here, I wanna know, like, and for the audience, like, what is the thing? Walk us through the thing that you are working on, either changing or conquering, or like what is that thing for Horatio right now?
What I'm conquering right now is projections. What I'm conquering right now is being able to see through the veil of what's really for me and what's not, and the projections, understanding when some doubts is not coming from me, not letting other people own beliefs affect me, not letting other people actions affect me.
So for like the sake of like utility for some that may be trying to figure out how to process something, how to walk through it, can you give a specific example of something in this?
Okay, we just gonna say, how can I give an example? You just go into a store and you speak to somebody. Hey, how you doing? Nice and humble. And
well, not even an example, but like something from your life. Like similar to how I gave that I was in a situation with my wife and what I needed to do in that. Something specific like that you're in.
Okay, actually this is something that's pretty good. So I used to didn't know how to debate and go back and forth without actually getting violent. Like if I didn't get my way, or even if a person is wrong, you know what I mean, and I know that I'm right, and it kept going on, and I don't want it to keep going, I used to deal with it with violence. Even if I would force a person to violence to stop it, like, you know what I mean? So now with these situations that I'm in now, I learned to think more, you know what I mean? And I learned not to push that's not meant to be pushed. It started to make me realize, okay, this is something dark in you, Horatio, that you need to conquer. So now it's learning how to conquer what helped me survive most of my life, which was my anger. My anger saved me a lot of times. My anger was what protected that little boy that was molested. My anger was what protected him. You know what I mean? My anger was what helped me survive in the streets. That's what helped me. But now making a new transition, the past life, you can't let that dictate the situation that you are in now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's showing that you still have trauma. Because you ain't looking at other ways to handle situations. The way that you're looking is going back to the old ways of thinking. So now I realize, okay, I have a choice to be angry. I have a choice to whether I let somebody liking me or not liking me affects me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when you in certain situations, whether a person like you or not, you should learn to be so complacent and content and happy and loving yourself that it doesn't matter what goes on around you, who doesn't like you, who calls you out your name, who feels like they can disrespect you. You know, once you start to love yourself so much, you get away from all that, and then you set healthy boundaries. So once you start to set those boundaries, you know, okay, this is what I'm gonna tolerate, this is what I ain't. This got me to a point where I will be operating in a past energy that doesn't serve me any well. So now you have a choice, okay, I can let this continue to get me angry and get me back into this old energy, or I can look at this situation and say, okay, what am I supposed to be learning from this right here? Okay, now, once you look at the situation, like, okay, this is the lesson that I need to learn. If something's getting me back in my old energy, it's either one or two things. Set boundaries. The boundaries are going to be respected. If not, protect myself because I don't want to be operating in that anymore, to move on because I have to protect my peace. So for anybody that's out there, protecting your peace right now is vital. You know what I mean? And when you face with these things, don't feel crazy to question yourself or talk to yourself, man. Don't question yourself. Ask yourself in your head, yo, why am I like this? Why am I feeling this? Is this feeling appropriate? You know, and then once you start to do that, you get better and better. And then you start noticing situations that when you look at it, like I had a situation last night, I got cussed out. Dude called me all kind of names and all of it. And I was looking like, yo, 10 years ago, man, it would have been way different than that. But now when I seen this guy's like, it's funny. It's like, yo, I just rolled past you and you looked at me, it's like, oh, you a devil. I'm disturbing demons in you right now. That's how I see it. It's like, I can't let that affect me because that's going to take me back somewhere that I don't want to be. Yeah. And I know that side of me is going to always be there. We embody, like I say, mask, feminine, dark, light. We embody all of this. You know what I mean? Everything is created in its own grand design. So we can't exclude one without the other. We can only face it, figure it out, and learn to contain it and control it and use it when it needs to be used. So that's how I feel about that, man.
I like it, man. I like it. Let me see where we're at on time here. Oh, dang it, I did it again. 70-ish minutes. I think my guy will be okay with that there. So, shoot, man. Let's that even agree on you? Oh, yeah, we cool with that. Yeah, man. I'm glad to hear that because and that thing that you said about, you know, being able to recognize like the demons in another person and things like that, like I think that's really important too, because sometimes we can look at a person and we can have like an expectation like, come on, you're supposed to be like a decent human. We project what we consider good about ourselves onto other people and get mad at the fact that they don't reflect our goodness.
That's a bullet. You know, everybody always say, right? Everybody always say about people projecting, right? But they never talk about people projecting their good feelings on somebody and being let down because of what you want to project on them. Yeah. They're not doing it. But they always talk about how people project their negative thoughts and their negative feelings onto you. But I like that. That's something else though. Right.
No, yeah. And I got it because like people at my church all the time, they'll tell me things, and sometimes people will play pranks on me, and I just always believe everybody because I'm assuming that everybody's telling me the truth.
Yeah.
And then people are like, oh, you must be an honest person because you believe everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then that's where I realized, like, oh shoot, yeah. Sometimes even that anger, sometimes even at my wife that I get when I'm like, why are you talking to me like that? Like, this is not a holy, spirit-filled way to be talking. It's because I'm projecting my standard onto her, and then that's where you got to kind of quell that projecting that self-righteous anger and whatnot. But it's being able to recognize, like, okay, I'm projecting this onto that person, and in fact, not only is it unfair that I'm projecting my standard of goodness onto them, but this person actually has a demon that's on them. This person is actually battling with their demons, and that's what's reflecting right there. This isn't a person that's in the same scenario as me, that has the same type of partner I have, that has the same position of leadership in different places I have, that has these people that look up to me. This is a person I know nothing about who may have a demon of lust, of fear, of anger right now. They might have somebody doing something terrible. And when you look at people from the position of, oh man, they are being afflicted with a demon, it allows you to have a lot more sympathy for them, which can then translate the way that we interact with them in total. Because if we just look at a person and we, like a lot of people say, oh, come on, man, you should know better. This is common sense. Oh, you should be able to be a better human because it's common sense how you should emotionally or intellectually react to that. But then it's like, well, we know that when a person is frantic, they lose a lot of these elements of their mind, especially if a person is frantic with demons of anxiety, fear, depression, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so, like, I think that's the portion where when we recognize a person's affliction more, and if we can start to look at people, and instead of just looking at them as people that need to adhere to our standards of goodness, we can look at them and recognize their demons, and we seek to understand their demons. That's where we can now truly begin to build some type of understanding, compassion, relationship with them.
And be able to, that's how you start to cast demons out. Once you be able to identify the demon. Once you be able to identify the demon, you know how to deal with it. You know, okay, yeah, I ain't finna play with you. You got something on you that I don't want to ride with you. So, you know, it's not me meant to judge because everybody gonna have to surrender, you know, but I still look at it like it's the light side and the dark side. Yeah. You got angels, you got demons. It's no one exists without the other. If angels exist, what's the difference? How something gotta exist. Something has to exist on the opposite side. Yeah. You know what I mean? So when I look at that, you know, you have people that are so terrible, and they run into somebody that this terrible portion that was so horrible woke you up into a new reality that make you change your life. Guess what? This demon just served God's purpose that made you quit doing what you were doing because it just scared you so bad. Yeah. So now guess what? Even though that's a demon, he just did the purpose of the Most High. All works in the grand design. All of it. So now guess what? You wake up and now your light is shining. And when you're going around other people, now they've been trying to hide their demons. They don't want to fight them. They want to live in. They want to stay in their lust. They want to stay in their anger. They want to stay. They want to live it. They've embodied that. They've chosen it. But now when you come around and you're doing everything to heal and do better for yourself, they recognize that in you. Now, guess what? Now they're disturbed by these things. But guess what? Now it goes both ways. So now this demon woke you up to now you choosing to do the right thing, to now your light shining. And now when you go around other dark demons and dark people and people that live in wickedness, this light that turned on because of this demon is going back to other demons, waking them up, disturbing other demons. So this thing is way bigger than what we think. Oh, let God, what is you giving me right now? Woo! Listen, this thing is way, this is just coming right now. This is way deeper than what we think, bro. So this is like, I just keep looking at everything, bro. Right, left, good, bad, positive, negative, line between everything. So it's like they say life isn't about a balance, it's about harmony, but we need to find balance mentally, physically, and spiritually. Because this is what exists, bro. This is what exists into this world. And if we can actually find out how to operate on both sides and unite both sides, when you look into all these different spiritualities, all these different religions, all of it starting to come back to the same thing. The body and the one high creator, light in the dark. You got the sun, you got the moon. Why is it everything like this? Everything.
Yeah, man. And there's definitely I like that sense of the revelation. We could like literally being able to like see the revelation in your eyes as it's working. Like it's the coolest thing to see firsthand sitting here next to you. I don't know if the audience could see it as well, but like just seeing the thing go off, I'm like, dang, that's dope right there. Yeah, man, my willingness to acknowledge the presence of demons on people and see it and like respect what that really means is only very recent. I used to think, oh, they talk of demons. These people crazy. They're trying to not take accountability for their actions. And it's like, no, people still have to take responsibility for their actions with the demon affliction. Like being influenced is a thing, but the demon doesn't straight up like make you do anything that you don't give in to doing. At the end of the day, it's still your fault. It's still you. Right. Your job is to recognize that demon, to call it out by name. If you don't know its exact name, call out what it's stirring up in you. If it's anger, if it's fear, if it's lust, if it's whatever, then you go to God and you say, God, I just gave into this thing right here. Take this from me. This is awful. Because when you just think of it in terms of like, because here's the thing that our culture has done a lot of, right? We said, oh, we're angry. Anger is a natural emotion. We should be angry and da-da-da. And it's like, yeah, we will be angry, but biblically speaking, anger is not a fruit of the spirit. So what is it a fruit of? It's a fruit of the devil. And so are we going to be angry? Yes. What do we do with that anger though? We don't just accept it and be like, okay, it's cool that I'm angry. You recognize it, call it out by the demon that it is, the demon of anger, and take it to God and say, God, I recognize this is a demon of me. Because now you're not treating it mentally. This is where the psychology comes into it. You're not treating it in the psychological aspect where, okay, this is, dang it. I'm getting too into it.
What?
Oh, man. Okay. On the psychological aspect of it, when you treat it as something that it just is a part of you, it's okay that you feel like that, you just got to da-da-da-da-da, you can start to justify it. You can start to make excuses for it and you make more allowances for it.
Right.
But when you recognize that this right here is from something evil within you, that changes how you think about it, because now you treat it as something that you need to figure out how to get away from it as quick as possible. And so I started to see the value of what it is acknowledging demons instead of just calling them my emotions, my this, my that. I'm still acknowledging it's my responsibility to handle it, but I'm acknowledging the power that it actually is, because demons have power. And I think that a big mistake that a lot of people, both in the secular and the spiritual world, do is that the speech of demons is looked at as a crazy thought. People say it all the time in music. I got these demons on me. You know, they talk about it in music and in pop culture, demon time.
They're embodying that, bro.
Exactly. And people still speak it colloquially, but they speak it in a playful manner. They don't give it the power that it truly represents.
It possesses them, bro.
It does.
Going on. They inviting demons.
Mm-hmm.
They're screaming demon time. I actually did a poem, and in the poem I was like, they screaming demon time. Now they can't sleep at night, yet alone find a peace of mind. Because you inviting so many demons onto you doing the alcohol. You inviting demons, and you drunk, got spirits in you, and you're screaming demon time. Then you're saying, I'm possessed by these demons. You inviting so many of these demons. That's why you see so many young dudes in the industry not even making it. You know, they signing meal tickets and it got so many right now. So many young rappers never even heard of before they made it. They got killed. Yeah. You know what I mean?